For Minecraft 1.15, the first snapshots have officially released, and in them we have bees! Bees are just such an adorable addition to the game, so with this build I wanted to create a special sanctuary just for them. I found this beautiful plains biome on the edge of a flower forest and quickly got to work on my plan. If you know me, you know I always start out my builds with a plan. It's super important to keep your head straight the whole time that you're building. And once my plan is complete, we can start on the main build. This main part of the build is going to be the farmhouse area, starting with some very simple frames and foundations to get everything marked in the way that I want it. If you're curious on how I build houses like this, I will link a little tutorial on them up in the corner if you click on the eye. I'm going for a very fantasy-styled farmhouse area here. Some of these buildings are for processing and storing honey, and others are for the farmers to actually live in. I think the details around here really set this build apart from any other and make it look like it actually is a place for bees to thrive and honey to be collected. The pond in the center with all of the lovely greenery and details and farms around here really make it for me, and I love all of the chimneys as well. In the new 1.14 update, being able to actually add animated smoke is so nice. Now it's time to move on to the greenhouses. One of my favorite parts of spring is heading to a greenhouse with my mom to check out all of the flowers and plants that they have available there for us to get. And so I took some inspiration from these greenhouses and decided to build my own within Minecraft. I thought this was the perfect addition to a bee sanctuary, as it really is a great place to grow flowers and plants and different crops even for bees to be able to go and help us out with. In the center of the big plains biome, we're going to be doing a big tree. You'll notice on some of the trees around this build, I do end up putting flowers in them. While this is something that I wish was possible just normally by placing them, you do have to place the flowers onto leaves with commands. You can do this in vanilla, and I'll link a little tutorial that System Z did on that down in the description, or you can just do it with World Edit, which is the option that I went for as it's a little easier. I surround this tree in some flowers and some crops. Then I move on to the main attraction, which is this honey collecting area. I took some inspiration from a real life video here, and I'll also link that down in the description because I thought it was really interesting and informative. Once the honey collecting area is complete, we need to work on some of the smaller details, like a cobble bridge crossing the river, some different flowery fields for the bees to actually harvest, and then finally a perimeter around this farm. So right now it kind of just looks like a randomly set area right in the middle of a field. Having a perimeter can keep any potential baddies out that might want to hurt our honey supply, and the bees will still be able to go in and out as they please, so there's no trapping them. Some additional farms, and this build is finally complete. Thank you so much for watching my process. Let's go check out some of these details up close in game now, shall we? Alright everyone, now that you've seen the building process, I wanted to take you through in-game and show you some of the interior that I've done, and also play with the bees a little bit because, let's be honest, they're just so dang cute. I really want to go check them out. So let's go cross over this little cobblestone bridge and see what's going on in our farm. I love the perimeter here. I think it looks so much like a real farm. I think that was a really nice touch. Shout out to Rowling who helped me out with that idea because I think it definitely helps out. Most of these custom trees around here do have beehives in them, which suits the area so wonderfully because this is a flower forest. I wanted to have some wild bees around, keeping the forest nice and healthy, on top of having this farm area where we have some bees that are helping out with all of that. As we enter into the farm, we've got a whole bunch of different options. To our side, we've got a flower field, we've got the beautiful greenhouses out in front of us, and lots of different farms all around. Let's head into these greenhouses first and talk about them. The greenhouses are probably my favorite part of this entire build. I don't know why, but I've never built a greenhouse before. And this kind of really suits my personality. I absolutely love plants and flowers and just all sorts of greenery, and going to greenhouses in real life is one of my favorite things to do in the spring of the year when you're planting a flower garden. In this greenhouse, I've got some bees going around helping out with the keeping of these crops that are over here. We've got some flowers and berries and vines growing up on this side, and some potted plants down the center. I think this suits the greenhouse so well, and in the other one we've got another slightly different design. In this one over here we've got some small baby trees and a few tulips on each side that this bee over here seems to be doing a wonderful job of taking care of. Oh, okay, we're gonna go for a little spin. Well, that's good too. Are you okay? Oh, okay, we're fine. All's good. I'll pretend I didn't see that. As a little centerpiece to the farm, I've done this little well, and oh, dude, how did you get stuck in here? Come on out. Come on. Every time you add villagers to a build, you're just never 100%. Come on, you were out. You were literally out. Go on. Yeah, adding villagers to a build, I wanted these farmer villages to like help out with the farming areas and actually harvest them and stuff. You're more trouble than you're worth. You really honestly are. Come on. Out. Jeez. What's he doing? Anyway, let's head over to this beautiful big tree over here. In this area, I had the idea of having a sort of larger than normal central tree with several beehives on it. This one actually has some honey for us ready by the looks of it. That's so exciting. Look at it dripping. Oh my gosh, what a fantastic touch. And it drips all the way down to the bottom too. I didn't really know that about them. I've never seen them drip so high. That's so cool. So we've got a pile up of honey down here. That's cool. The bees are kind of flying through it, getting all sticky. Awesome. So this is something that I would probably do in survival mode, honestly. It's like an aesthetic but still functional farm because the bees can go around and get pollen here in the central circle, and then they can expand out this way and actually help us to grow some crops. I'm not sure if this would actually work in survival mode, but I like the aesthetic of it, and so far it seems to be working fairly well. I mean, it's definitely not the most efficient way to do it, but it's pretty and the bees seem happy and I like it. Let's head back this way now. As you can see, I've decorated all of the paths with different little wheelbarrows. We've got flowers all around. I wanted this to really be a bee sanctuary. So having fields of all different types of flowers all around here is really something that was important to this build for me. Let's head over to our main honey production area now. As you can see, I've got some barrels set out. We've got our fields of color coordinated flowers right here, some tables for some workers, and over here we have our hives. So this is the main production zone for the honey in this area. I think you could definitely set this up with redstone and automate it if you needed to. Obviously, this is a creative build. I have no intentions of actually harvesting honey from here, so I didn't do that, but there's room if you needed to. I tried to set these up sort of like they would be in real life. So kind of just hives stacked on top of each other. In real life, often I see them just out in the field. I wanted to protect my bees by putting a little roof over their head, and they can still get in and out for the crops, as well as for the flowers whenever they need to. And right to the side of our main hive, so we do have a few more farms associated with this main processing and housing area. I absolutely love how this farm area turned out. I think these 3 different buildings all connected together really connects this build and gives it that sort of whimsical feel that I was going for with all of the different colors. Let's head inside this main building here. This building is sort of like our main processing plant. So the honey can come in here in barrels, and we have a windmill attached here. So I kind of wanted to make it seem like the windmill is maybe turning this right here. We can't animate it within the game, but we can use our imagination and pretend that it is actually churning this sort of barrel of honey that we've got going there, which I just put some coral in there to make it look a little yellow. Over here we have sort of like an office area, or maybe even a research area where they're working on the honeycombs and seeing what sort of technology they can create with it. There's just a lot of greenery going on in here as well, sort of carrying through that aesthetic. In this interior, I took a lot of inspiration from my friend and fellow YouTuber, Mythical Sausage. I will link Sausage's channel down below. He is an amazing creator and had some fantastic ideas for this new 1.15 update with the bees. Definitely go follow him if you want some more ideas. I took this idea of the shelves with the hives from him, and I think it works really well with this area. As we head up the stairs up here, we've just got kind of some more little storage areas for stuff. This is sort of just a working area for that main little pole there, and we can go through this door right here, which is our little crossover into the next building. And this building over here is sort of like a processing area once again, but this one is for actually kind of like melting it. I'm honestly not sure what they do in here. I didn't really think about it a lot, but within the context of the game, I did some brewing stands with some bottles next to them of honey. I had this area here where they're maybe cooking something, maybe storing some honey in areas like this, or just washing out bottles to store it in, maybe sterilizing things. I don't know exactly what they're up to, but I tried to make it look like another workstation. And down below in the basement, we have the honey storage area. So I left this area to be pretty dirty. We've got a dirt floor in here and the cobble walls, but it's just an area for some general storage of the equipment needed on the farm and also the honey. And we can also go upstairs. I couldn't figure out a graceful way to put stairs here, but thankfully there are ladders within the game, so I didn't actually need to. Let's head across this pathway once again, where we have a fantastic view looking out over the fields and the flower forest over there. We can head into this building here, which is actually our main worker's house. So in here I've set up sort of like a little office area with a desk and some reading. We've got the bedroom in here, just a very simple little room. The worker probably just comes in here to sleep and doesn't spend much time actually in here, since they do have this whole beautiful farm. And downstairs we've got this lovely kitchen area, and once again another fireplace right here where you can sit on the couch and just enjoy the warmth of the fire. I really love the way that all of these buildings came together. I think they suit the build so well. We can exit here through our little beetroot farm and we're right back to where we started. That is about all that I have to show you for this build. I'm really loving this new update so far, and I can't wait to see what comes out next with these new snapshots, because so far I'm really loving it. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the bees, and if you have built anything for them yet, please show me. I'm so curious as to what everyone else is coming up with this new beautiful inspiration. Anyways guys, I hope I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye bye!